Hello and welcome. It's Charles Fockaert, May 21st, 2019. This video is on we have a war fight. We have a war to fight. And it looks to me like most white people don't even know that we're in a war. And that's what this video is about. I did a video yesterday. It took quite a while. It was a half an hour long when I got done with it, editing and all that. It took quite a while. And I watched it again and got too emotional there. I thought I'd better redo it, folks. And before I get going, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. I appreciate the emails and the texts. The couple there in Texas, I don't want to mention any names yet, but I appreciate you getting a hold of me. I don't do interviews. It's very difficult to do that type of format, and I probably wouldn't be very good at that. Sitting here across or in the room together, yeah, maybe. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. I like being in front of people live. I like to get their reaction, and that's why I liked to teach when I did. Anyway, that's another subject. So I want to, again, this is, we have a war to fight. I was in Flagstaff on Sunday morning, and I went there for something, and there was an overland expo or off-road expo there, and it's pretty amazing what the white race can do. They had every imaginable uh, um, camping gear or attachment to your vehicle, off-road vehicle, four-wheel drives. The tents they put now on top. I thought about buying one of those when I slept in my truck or used my truck for camping before I bought the mobile cabin. I want to talk about other men and what they're saying, and pretty much they're getting closer. They're getting closer to what I call the most important subject to talk about. And most people, most of these gurus, experts, he's a legend in his own time. They get on the net, and it's like they don't even acknowledge the fact that we're in a war. And I don't want to say we're losing, because I'm going to make this straight right up front. The United States and Europe is being punished by their God. Their God is Yahweh. And a lot of people don't even know why we use the name Yahweh. Not going to go into that. But we're being chastised. We're being punished. We're going through, and we're going to go through, and it's going to get much worse. I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm not trying to get you to go out and do anything that you shouldn't already be doing for an emergency, for put away some food, etc. All that, water filter. I'm not going to go into that, but if you're not there already, you better hurry up. But hey, I want to talk about the war we're in, and most people, the majority of the people, don't get it yet. They don't understand. It's all about race. This war and the situation the white race is in, and if you talk about or you defend or you want to protect the white race, you're a racist. So I'm a racist, and I learned how to be racist from the Koreans, the South Koreans. 5 years in South Korea. It only took me about a year or two to figure out what was going on once I got there. I'd already been in Thailand. I'd already been in Qatar. I learned about racism. If you want to know who a racist is, go to Qatar, go to the Arab countries, and go to South Korea, and go to Japan. And the term just means, the term racist just means that you care about your own people, your own kind, your own ethnic group. Now, nobody, no one should care more about their race than the white race, and yet we're the race that cares about their race the least. I did a speech, Missoula Speech Club there in the winter of 2011 or 12 it was, 11, 12. And 20 people plus in the room, all of them white, my race. My talk, my speech was on kind after kind. Whose nation is this anyway? And those 20 plus people in the room did not receive, and that would be an understatement. They were so opposed. They were appalled, it seemed like. The reception was so cold, I've said before, you could freeze mercury. So this is about race, and this is about some of the other men that I respect. And I'm going to mention their names in this video. I didn't on the last video, which I didn't publish. And that is Jim Willie. I don't think that's his real name. Maybe it is, but I think he's going by another name. But it's Jim Willie. Maybe some of you know him. And Gregory Mattingly. I'm not trying to attach myself to these men. These men they spend their time full time in what they do. And Jim Willie left the country. He lives in Costa Rica. He's been there 12 years. I was out of the country for almost 13, so we have something in common there. The reason he left the United States was because he was concerned about his life. And I don't know all the details, but that's almost the same reason I left the United States. I was being pushed and pushed. The district attorney, after they took away my business and my means of earning an income and all my wealth, and I don't know who got all my wealth because I didn't know that many people. I didn't know very much money at all. I was not in debt very much. I was at the end of, I was in the middle of a project, having paid off all of my debt, and I was down to very, very little debt, and they wouldn't renew my line of credit. And then the bankruptcy judge, Alan Jaslovsky, for those of you with eyes to see and ears to hear, you'll know what that means, took away everything. And I finally left the county where I'd been for over 20 years, left everything, went down to Los Angeles, ended up leaving the country because they suspended my driver's license and they suspended my contractor's license, but they still expected me to pay child support for children I couldn't see. Not the topic of this video, but we're in a war, folks, and a lot of people don't get it because it hasn't affected them. Well, guess what? It's going to start affecting you if it isn't already. And that's what Jim Willie talked about. There's a YouTube video I watched here just the other day, long video. I can listen to Jim Willie for quite a while. Some people have something to say, and he's one of them. And we both have a background in economics. He went further than I did, PhD. I had a family. I went to work hands-on, handyman, contracting, general building to real estate developer. He went on, moved to Costa Rica. I've been to Costa Rica. Nice little country there. And might do a video here pretty quick on moving to another country. And I want to get a white country, folks. Relax. I'm not going to move to Mexico or anything, even though I've been all over Mexico. I know what a shithole looks like, folks. I was there all over the country. Anyway, Jim Willey is talking about the government, and we've become a fascist state. That is the government and the corporate who are owned by our enemy for the most part. They own all the corporations, folks. They can print, they can create currency, they can create purchasing power out of thin air, and we pay them interest. And the entire system, the entire financial system of the world, except for those who are not involved in central banking, which is all the countries unite, the fascist corporate state. And you know that this could be used. That form of government could be positive, as it was in Germany in the 1930s, or it can be negative, which is what we have in the United States. And Jim Willey was talking about how we use sanctions, we use trade war. And I did a video not too long ago, and I said trade war, this trade stuff that Trump's doing is going to be important, and it's going to get, and it got out of hand just like I thought it would. So now we got this trade war going with China, which I think is intentional. They want to bring down the United States, folks. It's a trade war, full-blown trade war. Big mistake on the United States, because I think we need China more than they need us. They have this belt, what is it called? Silk Road, or the Belt Road, or the Road Belt, or whatever it is. I forget. My memory is, there's too much in the old hard drive up there, and I got to have it defragged. Anyway, China doesn't need the United States as much as we need them. Our enemy, the Esau Edomites, they stole our technology, and they gave it, more than gave it, they implemented it. They built factories. Excuse me, coffee. Sorry. In China, in Mexico, and other countries, but particularly China. So that's the treason that's not being discussed. The treason of the Wall Street white shoe boys and Goldman Sachs, particularly J.P. Morgan and the rest of the bankers. They stole our technology and they brought it to China. And now China is making the products that we need, and they never paid us for the transfer of our technology. Chinese got our technology for free, and the Wall Street bankers, the Esau Edomites, they took our technology based on from our infrastructure. I got into this in the last video. Trillions of dollars of infrastructure, all the roads, the electrical, the sewer and the water, the education, all the colleges, the universities, all of that technology to develop it. And then in the 1970s, it began with Henry Kissinger going to China while they wanted us to go fight communism in Vietnam. I mentioned this before. They wanted me and other young men, 18, 19 years old, just getting out of high school, go fight a war for them. See, they love war, and we're in a war right now. And it's a race war. It's a tribal war. Esau Edomites against the Jacob Israelites, the 12 tribes of Israel, which is the Western European race. So we're in this war now, and like I said, most people don't know what's coming. And the leaders of our nation, of our country now, it's not a nation anymore. A nation, South Korea is a nation because they have all the same people living there. Japan is a nation because they have all the same people living there, same kind of people living there. The United States is no longer a nation. They're allowing everybody in the world to come in illegally, legally, whatever. And Trump's not stopping any of it, folks. Get your head out of your posterior when it comes to Trump. He's not who he says he is. I've said it from the very beginning. He's a Pied Piper to keep the white race off the focus of the problem, and to keep us asleep, to keep us comfortable, to keep us mollified, to keep us snookered, to keep us, keep us from understanding and from realizing that we're going to have to do this ourselves. And that brings up another point. We're so far gone here. Like I said, we're being disciplined, we're being chastised, we're being punished for turning away from Yahweh and his law, and we're going to pay the price. And it's been going on for so long, the price is going to be huge. And that's what Jim Willie was talking about, that the people, the criminals who control our government and control our world around us here in the United States, they're criminals, they're psychopaths, they have no conscience, they love war, and they go after war as much as if they think they can get away with it, they're gonna have a war. They had a war, it's in Syria, Libya, for example. Omar Gaddafi was going to get an award from the United Nations for humanitarian award in the spring before they attacked him. It goes all the way back to Hussein. They put trade embargoes, trade sanctions. They starve the country of what they need, and then they go in with a war later, and they just destroy. That's the word I want to use. Destroy. These people in control of our world destroy everything they touch. Everything they touch. Now they're talking about Venezuela, and they're talking about, they want to have two wars at one time. Iran for the Esau Edomites that control that little patch of sand there in the Middle East. And something I just slipped my mind. Hold on, it'll come back to me. Yeah, the debt-based system. Our entire economy, the United States economy, and the world, Europe especially, is based on debt. I've mentioned this many times before. We're in debt up to our eyeballs and interest payments. The problem is, I mentioned before, they can't create the interest. So a debt-based system requires them to continue to increase the money supply, continue to have people borrow, and then it heats up. They get too much inflation. They have to cut back. We get cycle after cycle after cycle, just like that. And if you get caught at the wrong time, you lose your shorts. And I want to mention again, I was not bankrupt when I filed bankruptcy. I filed bankruptcy to protect myself, and there was no rule of law, and that judge committed crimes, and it's too late for me to go back and find out what's going on. My accountant, you know, they stole my money, and I don't know where it went. And but that's what these people do. They're criminals, and they'll take everything they possibly can away from you, and that's what they're going to do here in the United States. I've been saying this since I started this channel. What happened to me is what's going to happen to you. It just happened to me first, so that I can warn you about what's going to happen. So they're going to take everything that's not nailed down, and because the system is based on debt, which is opposite of Yahweh's way, Yahweh's law. No usury, none, zero, no interest at all. And that's where we are today. We're in an interest-based, usury-based system, and it's collapsing, okay? And it's going to be horrendous. I want to mention Manarino, Gregory Manarino from Nevada. He's in front of the computer screen all day long, 24/7, he says. Yeah, and you have to think about it. In order to be good at what you do in that field, you got to think about it all day long. I know, I've been there. And I used to trade commodities, and I lost money because I wasn't focused, see? So I learned not to do that. You got to be... So Manarino's on top of it, and he's talking about going to be millions of people who die. millions of people who die. We're going to be cold. The United States, the white race in the United States is going to be cold. All these people that are eating this GMO food, who are not concerned about the chemtrails, who are eating all of this junk in their food. I mentioned GMO food. It's just and unclean foods we're eating. We're a sick nation. We're going to get, and these people, and they're not prepared. They have, like I said, they have no idea what's coming. I was at this overland thing on the weekend, and I walked around and I talked to people, and it's not on anybody's mind. I could tell they were occupied about their off-road vehicles and what they're going to do. They're going to go fishing. They're going to go here in Arizona in the desert, and see, when I talk to somebody, I meet somebody for a length of time, and 4 or 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I start talking about the invasion right here in Arizona. And you know what? Most people that I talk to, they don't even know what's going on. They don't know the emergency in Yuma. They don't know about all the illegals getting in. They're not concerned about the legals getting in, the non-white legals that Trump wants to bring in by the thousands. They don't understand that we're in a war, we're being attacked, and we're losing, and they don't even know anything about it. Okay? And I don't want anyone, and I don't think anyone who watches this channel is going to be caught unaware with what's coming. But a lot of people are, folks. Tucker Carlson, he gets to talk on Fox News there. And 2-3 months ago in Baus, I was sitting there having lunch, and a guy there started talking about Judge Jeannie and how she can say what she wants, and it was ironic. It was funny that a week later she got chastised for what she said about somebody I don't even know. See, folks, how long is Tucker Carlson going to be able to continue to talk there while he's on employed by Fox News? The closer he gets to the most important topic, which is the war we're in with the Esau Edomites, the Israelites and the Esau Edomites, Jacob and Esau battle going on. The closer they get to the most important topic, the bigger chance, the bigger probability that they will be censored. So you want to find somebody who is actually talking about what's important. Find out if they've been, if their videos have been banned or censored or shelved. I had 2 or 3 videos of mine that have been blocked worldwide. One was on the invasion, blocked it. That was the one on the Camp of the Saints. And there was another video I did on the flat Earth, and I exposed the lie on that laser test. That National Geographic, that was blocked instantly almost worldwide. So they don't want you to see the truth. They're changing the content on Wikipedia. I could go on and on and on, but this will end up being a long video again, and I don't want that. So a lot of these gurus and legends and these Harvard-trained economists and these people, these American men with the arrogance about that they're important because they make a lot of money. That's the problem with Americans. Americans look up to people that make a lot of money, and Trump, for example, is just one example. Well, guess what? Trump went bankrupt. He wasn't successful, folks. He wasn't successful in his business. I think he worked the system, and that's why we can't see his tax returns. And anyway, that's just because somebody makes a lot of money, that doesn't mean he's very smart, and that doesn't mean he cares about you. He's just doing what he's doing so that he gets the money so that he can have a bigger house, or he can pay for his newer car, or he can do this and he can do that. He doesn't care about you, folks. That's what I like about Jim Willie. And Jim Willie, I want to mention, he was the only one of the only ones that I've sent an email to and said, hey, you know, I enjoy and I benefit from your. I'm going to subscribe to him. Lord willing, I'm going to subscribe to his newsletter. But he was the only one that positively, in a positive way, responded to my telling him, hey, you might want to look into the subject of Adolf Hitler and Germany and during World War II, because I think you've got the wrong understanding. He wrote back, you know, positive, didn't call me stupid, didn't, you know, and Mattingly actually will help you to work the market and make money. I appreciate that in these men. And, you know, so I will listen to what they have to say, where I won't listen to this guy that spent all of his money and invested in silver, or this guy, and they're always concerned about the price of silver and gold. And you know what? It's not going to make any difference, folks. The inflation rate's going to be so high that you're going to have to sell your silver for a loaf of bread anyway. Doesn't matter. These people, I guess the point of this video is that these people need to start addressing the main problem. We need to start talking about the fact that we're in a war and that we need to leave all this overland and off-road crap and all the stuff we're interested in. And we need to focus on the war, and we need to take care of business. And if we don't do it, we're going to be caught with our pants down, and it's not going to be a pretty sight. The only way out of this, folks, I want to end this with this, is by the grace of Yahweh. We're being disciplined. We're being punished. Not so much punishment, but we're being chastised. And we're going to pay a very, very high price. And my view is supported by both Jim Willie and Gregory Mattingly. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. And may the grace of God, our Father, may his grace be upon us all. The white race, specifically the Israelites, the Western Europeans, Denmark, tribe of Dan, Dan's land, the Danube River, the Welsh, the Scottish, the Brits from the tribe of Ephraim, the Celts. Folks, we are the white race. We are the Israelites. And the cousins, I mentioned it right away, our cousins are the Russians and the Slavs over there in Hungary that are pushing back against our enemy, the Esau Edomites. I want to thank you again for watching. And may the grace of God our Father be upon us all, for we most certainly need it. See you.